Welcome back. Today we're stepping into Judge Anzaloni's courtroom to answer a question sovereign citizens never plan for. What happens when there's a real victim tied to the charges? This isn't a traffic stop argument or a paperwork performance. This case has actual numbers, actual allegations, and actual consequences. And yes, you'll hear the part they hate most. The potential time adds up fast when multiple felonies are on the table. By the end of this hearing, it's clear the magic words routine isn't saving anyone, especially not here.
Actually stack those possibly. So you potentially could be looking at up to 25 years in prison. Mr. Musgrove, you want to come up to the podium, please. This is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Brian Joseph Musgrove, file number 23-21461FH. I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people, and I have Michael Dagger-Margosian appearing on behalf of Mr. Musgrove. Mr. Dagger-Margosian might, oh, there he is. So, Mr. Dagger-Margosian, this is a date and time set for pre-trial in this matter. Mr. Musgrove said that he was appearing on his own behalf. I did verify he is not an attorney, and you are still the attorney of record. So, Mr. Dagger-Margosian, how do you wish to proceed?
Well, Your Honor, I am aware that Mr. Musgrove wants to present information to the court. I'm happy to be standby counsel if he wants to represent himself. Obviously, this court would have to go through the colloquy of that, but obviously it's Mr. Musgrove's legal right to at least ask the court to do that. So I'm here to observe at this point.
All right. So, Mr. Musgrove, when you were at the bench or up at the podium before, you said that you were appearing on behalf of yourself. So, Mr. Musgrove, are you asking to no longer have counsel represent you?
Well, what I'm understanding is that the courts is a private for-profit.
So, Mr. Musgrove, I know where you're going with this, and none of that is valid. None of that is law.
I'm not the all caps name. Of course,
none of that is valid. None of that is law. You are standing in my courtroom. I have jurisdiction over you.
And there it is. Judge Anzaloni isn't entertaining the all-caps script, the identity games, or the recycled internet law school slogans. She's direct, she's sharp, and she's telling him plainly, none of that is recognized as valid law in this courtroom. What makes her courtroom so satisfying to watch is how quickly she cuts through the performance and forces the defendant back into reality. No patience for nonsense, no reward for word salad, just a hard stop and a hard truth.
So,
I tried to file paperwork with the clerk's office ahead of time so that you would have time to review it, and they denied me.
I know what you're talking about. None of that is valid under the law of the state of Michigan or the Constitution of the United States of America.
What do you mean it is?
No.
The Supreme Court says it is.
What does it say it is?
The Supreme Court says that if we were at the age of 18, we were supposed to claim our minor status.
Nope, not valid.
Okay.
So here's what I would say to you. Mr. Dagger-Margosian is, like most of our public defenders, exceptional attorneys and very well versed in the law and very experienced. He gives legal advice. You may not like the legal advice, but it's usually good advice. I've never had anyone from the public defender's office not wholeheartedly try to represent their clients. So what you are talking about is not valid, and it is not going to get you out of this case. You're not going to be able to say all those things because it's not valid.
Everyone involved in this court case has a financial interest in the case.
I don't have a financial interest in your case. I get paid by the state of Michigan, whether you plead, whether it gets dismissed. I don't make any money off you.
She's absolutely right, and it's a point that destroys this everyone profits off my case argument instantly. The court system runs on budgets and public service. This isn't some paper conviction business model like these defendants love to claim. If we're talking financial interest, the person with the most on the line is the one facing fines, restitution, and years behind bars. Because once you're locked up, income stops, choices shrink, and reality gets expensive in a hurry.
We have budgets. The court system is not a profit-generating revenue. We are here to represent people so that people who are charged with crimes are protected, people who are victims of crimes are protected, and that's why we have
But in
all
order
these.
for there to be a crime, there has to be a victim. There is no.
Well, there is a victim in this case
The victim would
because
be the company. And the
you are
company,
charged.
I can't face.
Actually, just hold on. So your crime that you are charged with, which you are innocent as of this time, let me grab the right file, is failure. Oh, this is let me see. This is an embezzlement charge. So you are charged in count one with embezzlement 50,000 or more, but less than 100,000. That being an agent, servant, or employee of Hardwoods of Michigan Industries did convert to your own use without the consent of your employer or principal, industrial tools and equipment in the amount of $68,938.40 or money or equipment. And that's a 15-year felony. So if you are found guilty by a jury, you can go to prison for up to 15 years.
Exactly. Embezzlement isn't some imaginary paperwork offense. It's a real allegation with a real victim on the other side. When the judge starts reading the amounts, the job role, and the equipment listed, you can feel how serious this actually is. This isn't "I don't consent" territory. This is felony territory. And once the court lays out the statutes and the exposure, the courtroom vibe changes fast.
They're charged in count two with using a computer to commit a crime. To facilitate the charge in count one, that carries a maximum penalty of up to 10 years in prison. And the way the statute's set up, I can actually stack those possibly. So you potentially could be looking at up to 25 years in prison. So the victim that's alleged in this would be that business.
Right, and I can't face that accuser because that business can't get on the stand for me to ask questions, and a third party.
But their
can't stand
representative
it.
can. Yes, they can. Yes,
They
they
can?
can. Yes, they
Okay.
can.
Judge Anzalone is correct again, and this is where a lot of people get embarrassed in court because they don't understand how entities work. Businesses can't physically sit in a witness chair, but the people who run them, represent them, and keep their records absolutely can. I've seen this same confusion constantly. Someone treats an LLC like it's not a person, right up until the law treats it like one for legal purposes. And now the judge is about to make it painfully clear. He's not the legal expert here, and pretending won't change that.
So I have 189,000 of student loan debt that was forgiven to be a lawyer. You do not. And Mr. Dagger Margosian, Mr. Isaac Sneed, all of the attorneys here went to law school to know the law, and their job is to advise you of the law. So
Yeah,
yes, they
they're
can. Yes,
They're
you
going
can
by
be charged.
everything, all the
can't-
laws and statutes that you guys go by
Are
for
legal.
corporations. They're for
Still a crime. Still a crime.
But I'm not
Still a
a fictitious
crime.
corporation, I'm a living person.
Yep, and that's why you're
Okay.
standing in front of me. If you were dead, the case would be dismissed.
Yeah, the all caps name is that.
That means nothing. That's not valid. It's
Okay.
not legal.
right.
So do you want to represent yourself or do you want to have an attorney to represent you?
I need some time to think.
Okay, so I'm going to set this for another pretrial on March 20th at 8:30 in the morning. And Miss Adams, could I get a notice of hearing for Mr. Musgrove?
And that's where this hearing ends, but the bigger story is just getting started, because another date is already on the calendar. The defendant walked in trying to debate status, but he's walking out with a decision to make that actually matters. Lawyer up, or represent yourself and take the hit when the fantasy collapses. This case has real victims, real charges, and real sentencing exposure, and the court isn't slowing down to entertain a script. If you want the follow-up when he returns, you already know what to do. Drop your thoughts below, and stay locked in for the next hearing.